Hello friends, I am Sanyukta and today let's learn another new Zentangle original pattern, and the pattern that we will be learning today is called Betweed. Right, so in front of me is a tile. I have already done the initial 4 dots and the border, and I have also drawn a star like looking string here, right? So the pattern Betweed just involves simple line work. So I'm going to be using these triangular areas to start with the pattern Betweed. So drawn a line and added some weight at the end of the line. Again from the other end, drawn a line, added some weight at the end of the line. Adding some weight at the end of the line. So I am going to be repeating this exercise till I fill up this entire space, starting usually from the same point, but not a rule. Again, starting from left to right, adding some weight at the end of the line. Again, starting from left to right, adding some weight, adding some weight here, adding some weight here, right? So that's basically the pattern Betweed. That's how the pattern looks. Now I'm going to be picking up the next star shape section. I'm inking this section because I need these boundaries to limit my Betweed. So I have inked the sections and I am going to be drawing Betweed in each of these sections, right? So again, the line need not be an absolute straight line. You can give a slight curve to the line. Again, repeating the same exercise. As you can see, I am giving a slight curve to the line, adding a little weight at the end of the line. Right? Giving a slight curve and adding weight at the end of the line. Using the border so you can see how I've used the border and covered the entire area with the pattern Betweed. Again, repeating the same exercise. Very simple pattern to draw. Can be drawn in any space. Again, as you can see, I am using the border, making it a part of my tangle. Just a small weight at the end of the line, right? So you can by now already see how the pattern is coming out to be. So I am constantly rotating my tile so that my lines are drawn as per the comfort of my hand position, right? So again, repeating the same exercise. Yeah. So you can see here I have already reached the last section and repeating the same exercise. Drawing line from left to right, adding some weight to the end of the line, again drawing a line from opposite side, adding some weight. So Betweed has a special woven kind of look. So that's how the pattern Betweed looks. Now what I am going to do is this star kind of shape that I had drawn initially to start with, I am going to fill it up to some extent, just to add some drama to the tile. As I mentioned earlier, bold black portions, and for that matter even tangles which have very lot of inking involved, add a lot of drama to your tile. So just inking the star string that I had drawn. Take your time. Inking is a very important part of any tile and the method. And finally one more. As you can see, I am not covering the center. Leaving some white portion in the center. Right, so now we are going to be shading our pattern. So again, there are ways to do it. You can either shade under these lines that you have drawn, right, add some graphite below the line, and with a very light hand just giving a touch of my stump to spread the line, right? Alternatively, what you can do is you can just take up this area and shade the tangle as a whole. As I mentioned in my earlier classes also, just give a border to this triangle kind of space and shade the corners and blend it in, right? That's another way to go about it. So here I am choosing to shade the pattern individually. So adding graphite under the lines that I have drawn, with a very light hand going to smudge it. Just make sure you don't smudge it too much, because I don't want the entire betweed to go grey. The black, white and grey portion should be discrete. Again, adding some graphite under the lines. And with a very light hand smudging it. Right. So adding graphite under the veins. You can think of a third way also. So in case you just want to put some graphite in the center and highlight these crossings, that can also be done. I choose to highlight the veins. Adding some graphite under the veins. And the last one also. Then we'll smudge it together. Right? So now we'll just, with a very light hand, smudge the graphite. And the last one. You can also add some graphite at the point from where the lines are emerging, right? So if you wish, you can add some graphite here. From the point where lines are emerging. And blend it in. Right, and some graphite here. Leaving a small white portion. So that's basically the tangle pattern betweed. So in case you're thinking that you need these shapes only to fill in the pattern, I have drawn here a droplet kind of a shape. I can just start with filling it in with betweed, right? So the pattern can be used to fill any shape. You can use straight lines, you can give slight curve to the lines. So the shape that you are filling up really doesn't matter. Betweed can be used to fill up any space, right? So that's also one way to fill up. In case you have these, just to show you an example, I can start with betweed like this. Again, fill up these parallel line with betweed. You can also choose not to start from the same point again, right? So that's also betweed. The other half you can change. You can again start filling up like this. So it's entirely up to you how you want to, and what is the area that you want to fill up with the pattern, right? And so as I mentioned to you, you can either choose to shade along this line or shade at these points from where the lines are emerging, or you can shade the tangle as a whole, that is shade this entire area and just blend it in, right? So that's betweed. This is also betweed. So I am now going to initial my tile. And sign and date it. Take a moment to appreciate your tile. Such a beautiful pattern created with such an ease. Just line work and you see the result. It's amazing. So thanks for watching, and we'll meet again next time. Thank you.